What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's having a good week. I want to go over this Rake style lick today. It became one of my favorites. I don't remember where or how I came up with it. I probably stole it off somebody at some point or got the idea off somebody. Can't reinvent the wheel. But yeah, it became one of my go-tos. And I like this lick because you can land on, it'll make sense what I show, but you can land on this note and it pretty much works for like 3 or 4 different chords. It'll just sound different depending on whatever the band is playing, but you don't have to change anything. So it's a useful lick to know. But yeah, we'll do it out of C. I play with my buddy Clark on his song Copper Strip and Blues. But it goes like this. And then there, I was C7 or 1/7. I think of this out of C. Actually, I don't know if you can see me. Sorry. Put my camera back down. But I love this because you can break this lick down at any point and go a different direction with it. And there's, a million variations you can do. So we'll show you the first one. I'm sliding in on string 6. We're out of C, so that's fret 8 open. So slide 7, 8 on strings. Hit 4, then string 6. And then I'm raking 5, 6. That's where the rake comes in. 5, 6, 7. And then instead of doing that, I'm restriking on fret 5 and going back down to fret 4. It's on string 7. That's pretty common in raking, instead of doing that, giving it like a little grace pause note in there. Then another rake, 6, 7, 8, then slide up back to fret 5. And I do 2 slides. And you can restrike it there if you want, or you can just keep going down. And then from there, this is one spot you can pivot from, because right now that you're landed on a G note, but you can play that over a C. It's within the scale of C. Or you could use it as a 1 to a 5, a C to a G. So you could land on a G there, you could land on a C there, or you can hit string 9, and that's an F. This is, if you've watched, can't remember what other video I did, but, strings 8, 6, and 5 at a open 1 fret is an F. If you just move everything up a set of strings, so that'd be 9, 7, and 6 with your B pedal down on fret 3, same notes. You can get some cool swingy style stuff out of that for E9. So yeah, that's one place that you can change it up to go to a 4. Then there's a million ways you can go back to a C. I won't get into too many, this is your invitation to mess around with this and come up with your own stuff. Figure out ways that you can vary off of what I just played. Let's think of the most common things. If you're playing out of the key of C, you could go to a 6. So you could even end it right there, and that would be a minor, a 6 minor. Just think of your B and C pedals. So most guys' C pedals don't raise, they're octave, they're low E, but same note. You can even do that. It's another variation. What else could we go to? We could go to a 2 minor, D minor, go like that. Your 2 minor would be A pedal out of your F, B and C out of your open, back 2 frets with your E's lowered, or A pedal out of your 4 chord, so your F. Another way, I don't know what that one was, but it sounded kind of cool. You could just end it up on just a plain Jane, your C note. You could even throw a little lick on the end. Something like that. Yeah, of course, if you wanted to end on a G, you can end on, like I showed you in the first one, or you could just hit open 6, open 5. You know, the possibilities are endless. Another thing you can do, instead of walking the whole thing down, you could just use that as a basic lick. You know, it's basically, the start of it is like the old Hawaiian. You know, there's so many possibilities. And that's why I love these kind of licks, because they give you room to explore and find some position for yourself, some licks that you really like. You know, something that sounds really cool to me may be pretty vanilla to you. You might want to play something different that sounds cooler to you. So that's a lot of my videos. You know, there's plenty of other guys out there that are showing you how to copy other stuff, and that's great. You know, I watch a lot of those videos myself, but because there's so many of those people, I don't feel I really need to do that. And I would rather just give you something that you can take and run with. And because I think was when I started just experimenting with this kind of stuff on my own, taking one phrase and picking it apart for hours, you know, especially playing that with backing tracks or with songs. Because like right now, if you land right there, your mind's going to think you're landing on a G, because you're so used to thinking out of the tonic, the 1. But if you're playing along with the backing track and it stays on C, it'll sound completely different to you versus playing it by yourself. And it can open some doors in your mind of like how you can throw certain notes against chords that you may not thought of if you was playing just by yourself with no reference. But yeah, fun little lick. Incorporate some rakes, incorporate some decent blocking. And you know, you can even just do something as simple as changing up the timing and the you know, try to make it swingy, try to make it honky-tonky, you know. Again, just an opportunity to go and explore. Yeah, come up with some cool stuff. Anyways, appreciate everybody that's been hanging out, watching videos, subscribing, all that good stuff. Yeah, got some more ideas coming. I guess we'll see you when we see you. Peace.